compassionate citizen. The problem happened his attachment, right? If he had done it as a matter of duty, things would have been different. But he did it with a sense of attachment, belongingness. That's where he had. Anyways, we can discuss that more. But let's get started. Radhe Radhe, everybody. You can start the recording, I believe. Okay. Radhe Radhe, everybody. A very warm welcome to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. Today, we are going to do a quick recap quiz and philosophize on the fact that why did God do this creation? There should have been a vacuum. Right? God is known as Atmaram. He's happy in himself. Why all this drama? And then poor souls like us are getting tormented, and now we have to cross over this matrix and all that stuff that is happening. So we'll try to philosophize over that concept as well. So let's get started by invoking the blessings of God and Guru, like we always do. And then Rahul, after that, you can post in the quiz questions, which are going to be pretty interesting as well, that we are going to take up. It's a recap opportunity that we get on some of the key concepts that we discuss. But for now, let's get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Radhe Radhe, very warm welcome again. So Rahul, go ahead. Let's put in our 3 or 4 questions that you have. Give a little bit of time to everybody to respond to that. It's a poll. And then we will get the discussion going.
Samji, right. Can you confirm that you can see that?
I can see that. So
okay, I can see that one.
Yeah. Everybody should be able to see it. We have 5 questions. So thank you again, Rahul, for putting it together. The first one is the sequence, systematic approach to progress in spiritually. Faith, knowledge, love, surrender. So you have to pick up the correct sequence. The second one is noodles principle. We are talking about in our life by shifting our focus on. It's a pretty interesting one. Third one is knowledge is one of the child of devotion. Who's the other child? Sibling of knowledge. Fourth one is what mindset should we cultivate while reading Bhagavad Gita? And then fifth one is an untitled question. Okay, I don't know what happened. I think we need to pose that question, right? Rahul, is that a separate poll? The single question that
yeah, that is a separate. Probably there was some title here. Yeah.
So if the bad news is there is no fifth question. The good news is it's a separate poll question. Okay, so you can take 4 questions. Should be easy. I see participants, so I would encourage everybody to take this poll. We have around close to 60 participants. We should have at least 90% recordings in this, and then see how many. It's a good way to test how well we have understood some of these concepts. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a pretty engaging discussion on these questions as well, which I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. So we'll give about 5 minutes to all of you to complete the quiz. And then we can take the discussion forward. And while we are waiting, while people are recording in their responses, let's take this opportunity to make some announcements as well. One thing that I would really want to talk about is the upcoming Dallas Yoga Festival. We have a keynote speech from Swamiji, I believe, on 16th. Check it out on the schedule. Then we have a very attractive ensemble cast of speakers which are lined up for this yoga festival. Every year we try to get some of the who's who on this field of spirituality who come in and talk about spiritual topics as well as yoga, holistic health, so to say. So check it out as well. Do register for it. I would say JK Yoga has so many offerings, and Dallas Yoga Fest is one of our key events for the year. So do check it out. I would put it on your calendar so that you can tag the speakers you would really be interested to listen to. And then, of course, the family camp that is coming up, that is an event not to be missed. either virtually or in person. Nothing can substitute in person, but if for some reason you cannot make it, virtually, do take advantage of that. It is fast emerging as a marquee event here for our Radha Krishna temple, as well as Kumbh Mela. It is going to morph into a Kumbh Mela in a few years' time, where people will throng in to say, hey, we have to go to the family camp. So that is another event I wanted to talk about. And in addition to that, of course, you want to check out the schedule of Swamiji. I think after the West Coast retreat, Rahul, if for our co-host, I would let them talk about it, so that when he comes to a city near you or nearby in your zone, you can find time to attend one of his retreats. Typically, the retreats are planned in such a way that it coincides with a holiday or over a weekend. Okay, so do make it a priority to meet him in person. I'll tell you, that can actually catapult your spiritual journey. Okay, so it's like, if you enjoy the sessions or the spiritual the contemplation and knowledge sharing that we do, when you meet Swamiji, it's like a spiritual injection. It goes fast into your bloodstream, and what you experience is altogether different. A lot of people's, their life trajectory has changed completely after attending one of the retreats. So do not miss out on that. That's the best gift you can give to yourself. Okay, I think we see close to 50% already recorded responses. Let's give a couple of more minutes, 2 more minutes, and then we will get started, because I want to spend some time on not only discussing the questions, but the topic that we have for today as well. So maybe 1 more minute we can give, unless you are doing that, just raise your hand and let me know. But yes, Rahul.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you, all of you, that you have to still answer number 5. Otherwise, it will not allow you to submit. I think some of the participants were telling me.
Okay. So pick up whatever choice you like on answer number 5. It's not going to matter, but please do complete it. Otherwise, it will not let you submit it.
One more thing I would like to add, if most of you might be participants of the CIC WhatsApp group, or you are on the JKU community portal. So every day the session summary is posted there, and some of the content for the questions or the quiz is taken from there. So I would highly encourage you to go through that and probably revise your knowledge. Yeah.
Yes, our team puts in a lot of hard work to come up with those summaries. So if you're not on CIC group or on the portal, I would encourage you to register for that and take benefit of it as well. Even the videos for the previous weeks are shared. I'm lagging a little bit right now, but I'll make up for it. I think right now I've shared till May 15th, which was Mother's Day, or 14th. But I'll start soon posting the remaining videos as well. So that is something, if you for some reason miss out on the session, you can always catch up on the video. All right, so let's do the countdown then and get started. I see 42. We have pretty good percentage of people who have already recorded in their responses. So let's get started. Maybe a quick countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's end the poll and get started then, Rahul.
The results have been shared now.
The results have been shared. Okay, great. Okay, so let's get started. The first question was, identify the correct systematic approach to progress spiritually. Okay. And the sequence, there's a bit of a split verdict, which is fine, because that means we can challenge our understanding around it. The correct answer is knowledge, faith, love, and surrender. There is a beautiful verse in Ramayana which says, Jane binu na hoye partiti, binu partiti na hoye priti. Are you able to see my screen, everybody?
Yes, now we can see. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the sequence. So whoever got it right, you are right. Knowledge leads to faith. Faith leads to love. And of course, love leads to surrender. So knowledge leads to faith. See, even in the real world, how does the love happen? Our mind is convinced, our belief system is convinced that this particular person or this particular thing is going to give me happiness, right? That knowledge is there already. That knowledge results in our belief system, and belief system does not need proof. When you reach a particular belief, what is belief? Where you don't need empirical evidence at that point. So you are convinced, my father, my mother, my spouse, my kid, he will give me happiness, he or she will give me happiness. When you are convinced, that knowledge is already there, right? You don't even need to read through it. Okay, why should I love somebody, then the love has already started manifesting. And when the love manifests, the surrender and tears will follow as well automatically, right? Surrender means you surrender to your kids. We do that all the times in our life. We give in and go along with their wishes. It is no different in the spiritual realm as well. When you love somebody, you lace in your wish lies my happiness. Same principle goes there as well. And tears will come as well because of attachment, right? When you meet somebody whom you dearly love, or when you have a sense of a feeling that I'm going to meet somebody, you feel it overwhelming. A lot of people think that, when they feel overwhelmed in love, sometimes people, they have a tendency, predisposition to getting tears, and they feel embarrassed about it. There is no need to actually, especially on the path of devotion, it's an emotional, you are harnessing your emotions around it. And love is the strongest and the highest emotion in this world. And the highest prize of God is also divine love. So if you feel tear naturally, you are in a very good spot. Okay, if they flow naturally to you, that means it is doing the cleanup job of your antakaran. So it's a great spot to be in. It needs to be cultivated even further, especially in the realm of God. The problem happens, the tears flow very naturally for God, and tears flow very naturally for the world as well. So in world, you become as hard as a thunderbolt. And in case of God, you become as soft as a butter. That is the whole principle. How does it happen? It happens with the perfect knowledge. See, people have to acquire knowledge to build that belief system that my true self-interest or my true nati sambandhi relative is God. That is why we are reading Bhagavad Gita or we refer to scriptures. Some people just have it because of their past sanskars. For them, it comes naturally. They don't have to go through all the knowledge part of it, right? Yesterday, with that line that we discussed, Jo nij swarth janu, dhanya sohi. Person who understands their true self-interest is a blessed one. And true self-interest is in building that belief system that God is my true relative, and he's the only person who has been accompanying us lifetime after lifetime, and the only person who can fulfill our self-interest and provide us the bliss that we have been craving for since time eternity. Yes, Abhishek, you had a question around this question, first one. Now let's move on to the second one. We can come back to the questions later. What was the second question, Rahul? I'm not able to. Okay, I should be able to refer to it. The second one is the noodle principle. This is also an interesting concept. Now, the noodle principle states that people have said all of the above, right? No, hold on. Fulfilling material indicating at least one noble. So majority, overwhelming majority has said inculcating at least one noble virtue, which is right. So the beauty of spirituality or the path of spirituality is that you pick up one good virtue, rest will follow. Okay, this is not all inclusive, but I've just tried to illustrate this concept. Just like picking up noodles, you start working on virtue seriously, and rest have to follow. It's not that you are trying to become honest, but your calmness is going down, or you are trying to have a prayerful and a heart full of gratitude, and your truthfulness is going down. One devik gun will lead to another. Okay, and one guna, if you seriously start working on, can transform your life, right? We look at people who pick up like Raja Harishchandra, truthfulness. Even Yudhishthir had that for that matter. Mahatma Gandhi said non-violence. Pick up one concept and the rest will follow. It can have a transformative effect in your personality. If you pick up one thing and say that is going to be a non-negotiable part of my life and I will abide by it, live by it. One is good enough to build in other virtues. So that is the noodle principle. The third one is knowledge is one of the child of devotion. Identify the other child. So somebody said detachment from worldly affairs, all of the above, identify. So somebody said all of the above. All of the above, unfortunately, is not correct. So let's try to understand this principle. Here is mother, you see, with two kids. Now, the one of the kids is Vairagya, the other one is Gyan, and the mother is Bhakti. They are the sons of Bhakti. As scriptures say, when you do bhakti or devotion, which we spoke about yesterday, we saw a beautiful lecture from Swamiji as well. Gyan and Vairagya are a natural byproduct of it. What does it mean? What it means is If you are 10% attached to God, devotion means what? Attaching your mind to God or having that sentiment towards God. So if your attachment is 10% towards God, 10% of detachment has already happened from the world. You don't have to do it separately. Okay. You will feel that viragya from the world automatically, detachment from the world. You make it 20%, 20% detachment. You don't have to do it separately. Once it becomes 100%, of course, you are completely detached from the world. And second thing is the gyan gets manifested, revealed all by itself. You don't have to put in separate effort to acquire knowledge at that point as well. Right now, we are acquiring knowledge in parallel, which is great. However, when you start progressing in devotion, your antakaran starts getting cleansed through your devotional practice, then the knowledge will also start getting revealed from within. You don't have to acquire it separately. Right? If you look at Guru Nanak Dev, Kabir Das, they did not study. But if you look at the sayings, the teachings that they had, they were realized knowledge. How did it come? It was realized knowledge. The scriptures are revealed from within. All the powers of God, they start serving you at that point, because now you are aligning with the purpose of the universe. So knowledge and detachment are a byproduct of bhakti. That is the power of bhakti, or the devotion that we spoke about yesterday. Both will have to follow. Yes, Tarunji, you had a question?
Nitinji, this looks to be a bit contradictory to the first one, where we said the Gyan first, and here we are
Janu Binu
reflecting.
Hoina. I know
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
for conditioned souls, right? However,
Okay.
as you progress on this path, you will start seeing there are so many questions that will start getting revealed from within. Okay, a lot of people can vouch for that, I'm sure, in this group also. So yes, you start. For you to have that initial spark, you need knowledge. Why it is important? Why should I invest my time in spirituality and not do parties? Why is God important? Why should I even care? Why should I believe in afterlife? So for that, you need knowledge. Scriptures tell us, you are not going anywhere. There are consequences to your action. Everything has a price tag. So that knowledge spark is needed. But as you keep on progressing in bhakti and devotion, you would realize so many of your questions will start getting resolved from within. So both happen. You have to acquire it externally, and at the same time, it will start revealing itself from within as well. And there will come a time when all of your questions will become quiet. You just know what needs to be done. That is what I'm trying to say here. But yes,
Thank you,
typically for conditioned souls, the sequence follows. First, you acquire knowledge. As you acquire knowledge, it will help you build faith. Once you build faith, and then it will result in love. And when you love somebody, surrender is a natural consequence of it. But yeah, good question. Thank you for asking that, Tarunji. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, let's take out the last one then. The last one question was, what was the last one? What mindset do we need to read Bhagavad Gita, right? Cultivate while reading Bhagavad Gita, yes. So the mindset that is needed while reading Bhagavad Gita is, somebody said, most of you said faith, nobody said doubt, and somebody said, nobody said sit on the fence, and none of the above. Okay, somebody's been, okay, none of the above. So the answer for that is faith. Faith is needed. God is said because it's a journey of faith. Even in Bible, it says faith worth a mustard seed can move mountains. So it's a journey of faith. Now you may say faith is blind. We have spoken about this topic. It's an intelligent faith. Nobody is without faith. Even a scientist is not without faith. They are putting a faith in a particular hypothesis, and only if it is backed with a conclusion or an observation will they say it is right. So they are also not without faith. An agnostic person who doesn't believe in God is also not without faith. They are saying, I put faith in my intellect. I have it all sorted out in my head. So nobody in this world is without faith. But when we put faith in our Shastra, like Bhagavad Gita or scriptures, it is an intelligent faith. Why? Because it is, first of all, the Vedas, if we understand, we are putting a faith, okay, it is created by God, Apurushe. Second, it has been reiterated by multiple saints. Not multiple saints won't come and say the same thing. Those were saints, not ordinary people. And thirdly, if your guru and you have a reason to believe is realized, he's saying the same, and then you experiment with it and you see the transformation, these are good enough proofs for you to say this is a good knowledge or reliable knowledge to go with. So this is a more intelligent faith. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that when you approach it with faith, I will sit in your intellect and mind and make it a realized knowledge, not a theoretical knowledge. I'll make it a realized knowledge where you don't even need an empirical evidence. Of course, you will see the transformation, but he will solidify that faith to an extent where it becomes a pakka concept in your head. But the only thing that is needed is nishtha and faith. If you see Arjun, if you look at it, he's not skeptical. There are subtle differences between having a doubt, being skeptical, and asking submissively. And Arjun throughout Bhagavad Gita has been asking submissively. In fact, if we are a doubtful nature, see, doubt is fine. This journey is from understanding to understanding, not doubt for doubt. You'll not get all the answers right at the word go. Give it some time, it'll make sense. But if we are skeptical about everything in life, then Lord Krishna has said, I think in Shloka 4.9, that Sanshya Atma Vinashyati na laukosti na sukham param. That one who's with a doubtful mind, that person will neither have peace in this life nor in the life thereafter. So doubt, we cannot move from doubt to doubt. Put faith, experiment with it, and then see the results. If you don't get the results, reject it. And even when we try to get back in shape, or let's say build 6 packs, we put faith in an author that cut sugar, do this, make so many crunches, do yoga, whatever, and then see the results for yourself. There also we are putting faith. In Bhagavad Gita also the same principle goes. You approach it with faith and then see where it takes you. And without faith, it will not really get deeper into you. Krishna will not do that grace. So when you put faith, it is considered as an intellectual sacrifice from God's standpoint. And when you're doing that sacrifice, you will see the results as well in terms of realized knowledge, in terms of transformative effect it can have on your lives. Okay, couple of questions, and then we move to the concept, why creation? Okay, we are going to philosophize on that today. Yes.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. So finally, you mean to say that once we start acquiring knowledge, you develop faith, then love and surrender. Or it is with the faith you start reading Bhagavad Gita, like acquiring knowledge of that, then you develop faith, love and surrender, which is correct. Or simultaneously both.
Simultaneously it can happen, but typically the ways, see, you acquired knowledge, it is important. Bhagavad Gita is important, right? That is why you reached here. But once you reach here, then if you keep on doubting, some people selectively put faith. Okay, this makes sense, but this does not make sense in Bhagavad Gita. So I'm saying, treat it like a cooked rice. Right? Cooked rice, you don't taste it one at a time. Once a little bit of it is tasted, which is cooked, rest of it is cooked as well. So when you started reaching, something got you to Bhagavad Gita, some kind of a knowledge that it is an important scripture for my life. Now, when you start reading it, put your entire thing, wow, these are the words from Lord Krishna. You know, this is what he said. This is what he told to Arjun. So when you strive with that kind of a thing, that import will start becoming better and better. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. And of course, it will lead to love and surrender then. Make sense? Yes, couple of more hands. Rahul can call out.
Radhe Radhe Sandhya ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Just wanted to add this, that yes, initially you need even a single nugget of knowledge is enough to get started. But then it's a feedback cycle. Like knowledge needs to love, and then love will lead to more and more deeper realizations of knowledge, and hence this cycle will keep on, growing.
Yes, true. Knowledge leads to so we spoke about bhakti, right? Bhakti gives knowledge, knowledge gives bhakti. So it just keeps on. The more you get to know about God, oh my God, God has this ability also. It is because of God only the love will also start increasing. And when the love will increasing, the knowledge will also, okay, by the way, the God is the basis of even this thing kind of a deal. So that appreciation starts growing. So it's mutually reinforcing at one point. Yeah, very true. Thanks for calling that out. Yes, Shilpa ji.
Radhe Radhe Shilpa ji.
Radhe 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 everyone. Radhe Radhe Nitin ji said. So if Gyan, I think it's kind of going back to that first question on the quiz. I understand the first question on its own and the rest of them on its own, but when you showed the slide with the kid, Gyan is knowledge, right?
That's right.
And so bhakti, is that devotion or is that faith?
Bhakti is devotion. Bhakti, yesterday we spoke about that topic, right? Bhakti means all things. Yeah, you're attaching your mind to God, right? Thinking about God, building a personal connect with God, or serving God. All of that is bhakti.
So when we sit down for Bhagavad Gita, we sit with, and we read that, we sit down with faith, but how do we have knowledge even before faith? So that means we have to have knowledge before we sit down with. So how can we have the child before bhakti, and then how do we have the
Okay.
faith before the child?
Before the child. So basically,
The
that's what
child
I'm
is the
saying.
knowledge. Yes.
Right now, we are building faith through knowledge. Right? Once it solidifies and once you start engaging in devotional practice, all will be reinforcing each other. To begin with, you need knowledge to build faith, right? And then once you have faith in something, the import of knowledge will also start increasing, right? And when you have both of these, knowledge and faith, it will result in love, and then you'll do more bhakti, and when you'll do more bhakti, the knowledge and faith will also start getting reinforced. So don't get lost in the sequence part of it. Let's understand that if you could simply do bhakti, let's say in your previous lifetime you had built sufficient intellectual conviction that devotion to God is important, and if you do it the right way, the knowledge and faith will come automatically, right? Because knowledge will come, faith will come, and more love will develop. But let's say, for example, you have not, you still need a lot of intellectual conviction right now, then acquiring knowledge is the right way to go. You acquire knowledge that will help build your belief system and faith around that particular topic. And when you build faith, then you will start engaging in devotional practices. You will start doing seva. You'll start having a personal one-on-one, relationship building with God. All those things you will follow, but it will start with knowledge only. But once you get into devotion, then knowledge and other things will start getting, it will like a feedback cycle you are creating at that point. So don't get lost in that, okay, am I doing bhakti? Should I do bhakti? Should I just focus on knowledge with faith? You're acquiring knowledge right now, Bhagavad Gita. Have faith in Krishna's word and rest all will follow. Bhakti will follow, love will follow, surrender will follow, more knowledge will follow. Okay, it will start becoming reinforcing each other. So it's not like that exam in college, okay, in the flow chart, tell me the first step. No, you got it wrong. In this case, for a conditioned soul, yes, knowledge will lead to this. But once you start getting into devotion, a lot of these things will start reinforcing each other. Okay, yes, Shwetaji.
Hi, Radhe Radhe Nitinji, Radhe Radhe everyone. When we talk about knowledge, the knowledge is like knowledge from a God realized guru, right? I mean, it is not like you just go and read the books and understand whatever you can. Knowledge is a word that means guru plus satsang, right?
Yeah, knowledge basically means you acquire it from a bona fide source.
Okay.
Bona fide source is not something which is written by humans. You are not referring to self-help books here.
Okay.
So bona fide source is scriptures. Now that bona fide source can only be accessed. You can do it through yourself, but then your intellectual capacity is not there to be able to assimilate its import. So when it comes through a guru who has two qualifications, Shrotriya and Brahmanist. Shrotriya means one who is theoretically well versed, who can tap into scriptures and reconcile it for them and resolve your apparent contradictions around it. And realized means a person might be scholarly, but if he has not seen the truth himself, he's not enlightened, right? They cannot, it will be just a theoretical exercise at that point. So these two qualifications of a guru, that's how you access the bona fide knowledge, and that knowledge will have a truly transformative effect on you. Not a knowledge from a book, self-help book, which is available in plenty on Amazon, which written by humans, which are subject to 4 defects. I'll not get into that today. But that knowledge, we are capping our intellect with the intellectual capacity of the author, which is a human, and it will always have imperfections.
Correct. Okay. Thank you very much.
No worries. Now let's get into the topic. I think you're going to love this topic. Interesting topic. We'll get into that. And Chandruji, real quick, you wanted to say something? Chandruji, you there?
Yeah, Radha Radhe Chandruji, you are unmuted.
Okay, Radhe Radhe. In the question of the knowledge, faith and knowledge, reminds me of the example that Swamiji gave about the diamond, the value.
Yes. Yes.
Remember? And
Yes,
that was a
yes.
very good example to remember that the value in the faith and the love, the product.
I can do a quick recap of that story, just to illustrate that point. Thank you for bringing that, Chandruji. So if you find a piece of stone on the road, okay, I'm just cutting short that story because you want to get into that discussion as well. You will have no attraction towards it, right? It's just a stone for you. Somebody comes and tells you, you know what, it could be a precious stone. A little bit of knowledge is enhanced. So your attraction towards that stone has increased. So you said, okay, let me pick it up and put it in my pocket. Then somebody says, you know what, this seems like a very precious stone, which is worth at least 100 grand. I can bet my life on it. Now your attraction and love towards that stone has increased even more. You have just holding it carefully, and you decide to take it to a jeweler to get a second opinion about it. Jeweler looks at it, it said it's a $500,000. I don't know where you found it from. Now your love and attraction towards that has increased even more. You will keep it in a closet under wrap so that nobody can get access to it. Now what is happening? The knowledge about, until you did not have knowledge about it, you had absolutely no care for it. The more you start gaining knowledge, now your love and attraction has started increasing towards it. Same thing happens with God. We think God is somebody, sitting up and with no business other than, whacking a stick on us from time to time. So then we don't have much attraction for God, or who knows God is there or not. Scriptures tell us who God is. And when we truly start understanding what all he does for us, who is God, how our self-interest can get fulfilled by him, it's like hitting a jackpot. Then your love and attraction will automatically come. That is where knowledge comes in handy. We have no appreciation for God because our knowledge is not proper. With knowledge, faith will come. With faith, love will automatically come. Oh my God, my self-interest will get filled by God, not with Rasgulla, TV, and my relatives, and what I thought would give me happiness, that trip to Hawaii or getting that new gadget or a car. Then when your knowledge will get pakka, of course, love will come. So that is how this process goes. Thank you, Chandruji, for bringing that example. Beautiful. Now let's get started on philosophize where our philosophers had. So there's a story. Once upon a time, there were a father and a son. Okay. Father was a billionaire. Okay. You can call him a trillionaire as well. Then, and loved his son a lot. Okay. In due course of time, son grew up. See, the son grew up. Now I'll pose a few questions. What will give father immense joy and demonstrate his expression of love towards his child? Okay, this is a question. I'll give you some options and let's take a few. I think Rahul, we put a question. Did we put the second poll to take a quick?
We have that. If you, we can.
Let's put a poll before we get into this discussion. Quick poll, and if you can fill it out quickly, that'll help. Given a choice, what would you prefer? Staying in deep sleep or in awake state with an opportunity to become like God? All of you can put in that and we'll see that. And I'm looking forward to this discussion today. This is something I've struggled with myself. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion. We have 83 participants. So I would encourage every one of you to, oh my God, 27 out of 29, 30 staying in deep sleep. Well, somebody's saying that, okay, that's good. Let's take a poll for all of them. 50% people have submitted. Some are still thinking, I believe. (59) See, it's not an entrance exam. It's just a question, what you think, genuinely think. So, okay, probably we'll give one more minute. What I'm seeing is all of you want in awake state with an opportunity to become like God. Okay, it's a good aspiration. No, one person wants to stay in deep sleep perpetually. Okay, I would like to know about who that, if you want to disclose yourself and have a discussion once we conclude the discussion that we're going to have today. Okay, I think 56 of 83 looks like we have kind of stagnated now. The people who wanted to submit the poll, they've already done that. So share the results, Rahul. Let's do that. At least what I'm seeing in the sample here is it's pretty illustrative of the group here. Stop. You've shared the results. So
Yes,
all of you,
those are being
except
shared.
one, have you shared it?
Yes.
Okay. They want to be in a awake state, very much in an awake state with an opportunity to become like God, right? And one said, I would prefer to stay in deep sleep. Okay, so hold on to this thought. And then let's conclude our discussion. So love towards his child, we spoke about it, right? I'll give you three options. Now, let's hear from which of the options you think is a expression would give father immense joy. Giving his son nothing, keeping everything for himself, and let the son go on his own. That's first option. Second is give everything to his son on a platter. Here it is for you, and just keep your fingers crossed that he will be judicious and responsible. Okay, is it a true expression of love? Or third is prepare his son. Once his son is ready, earned the right to be his rightful heir, share everything with the son. Which one do you think would be an expression of love? Anybody with the first one, you can raise your hand and talk about it. Where you think father does not owe even a dime to his son, just keep it for himself and do whatever. Son, it's like you do whatever you want. Anybody with that option, you can raise your hand.
In the
Nobody?
chat, I'm receiving responses for 3, yeah, from some of the participants.
Okay, I think people are already ready for Golok here. Okay, anybody with option number 2? Nobody is, huh? I thought there will be some kind of a controversy here today and all, but everybody seems to be aligned, perfectly aligned here today. Okay, and the third is anybody who thinks the third option would probably be the best, prepare his son, and once the son is ready. Now I'm seeing a lot of hands coming in. Okay. Okay, you can lower down your hands. Okay, so yeah, so if we look at it that way, let me put this analogy and put a corresponding map around it. So we spoke about a father and his son, right? There were a father and a son. Then father was a billionaire. He loved his son. Due course of time, son grew up. So in this case, he's our eternal father. You see in the heart who's located? He has an unlimited quantity of everything that we are seeking, right? Bhagwan means like Dhanvan, Shauryavan, Saundaryavan. He has unlimited beauty, knowledge, strength, wealth, fame, renunciation, everything that we get attracted towards. Anything and everything that we crave for in this life, in material world, God has it to infinite extent. We have it to a limited extent, and we become happy with that, right? Little bit of wealth, we develop pride. Little bit of beauty, we develop pride. Or even that beauty is transient. Nobody knows who was Miss Universe in 1980 or 85, right? It's all temporary. Little bit of strength. Who is an undertaker? He will grow old and he'll grow weak as well. Kali also became weak, right? Got knee problems. In case of God, fame, we get fame, power, it corrupts us. God has it to unlimited extent. He gives a little bundle of it in material world and it can actually, but then if you think about God, he has it in unlimited extent and perpetually. It does not diminish. He loved his son a lot. Now, if you look at God, God goes over and beyond for his devotees and friends, right? Go to the stories of Bhagavatam, Sudama, even Guru stories. Gurus are like God-realized saints. Listen to some of the stories around it and you will see how out of the way God is willing to go for the sake of his devotees, right? There's a principle, ye yatha mam prapadyante tas tathaiva bhajamyaham. He says that when you shed a tear for me, or when the sentiment that you harbor for me, the same sentiment at the same moment, to the same extent, I am obliged to reciprocate. Okay, that is the rule of God. So if you shed a tear for God, at the same moment, to the same intensity, to the same extent, he will do the same for you. That is his rule. Nobody in this worldly relationship can do that. Okay. And he goes over and beyond, as we have seen in the story of Sudama. For a few rice puffs, he was even willing to give him Vaikunt, until his Rukmini had to intervene and say, what are you doing here? Okay, so that is the level of love God reciprocates for his devotees. He goes over and beyond. And son grew up, but he has been a silent witness of our infinite lifetimes, waiting patiently for us. That he has not lost hope on us. Now, somebody said they would. Now, if you look at it from an expression of love from a father, he's waiting. He's actually going with the third option. Let me go to the previous slide. So when we have a lot to offer, like that billionaire father, what will satisfy us more, keeping it for self or sharing it? Anybody who thinks keeping it for self? Sharing it. He wants to share it, but if he shares it when we are not even ready for it, we will misuse it, right? So like a son, he's preparing us, and the day we are prepared, he will give us our true inheritance. It is says, bhakti is our dai bhak. Dai bhag means inheritance, like we inherit properties from our parental property and stuff like that. God will give us our parental property. We just need to become eligible for it. What is he asking us to do? Become good. What is the definition of good? Purify yourself. He's not asking any big thing. And when he says do devotion, he's saying help me, help you. Because only by doing bhakti or attaching our mind to the all pure God or Guru can we become purified. So he's giving us a very simple mantra. You become good, I'll give you all that I have to give, to offer to you. I'll give you the entire wealth, entire bliss, everything that basically he'll make us like him. Father, the God will make us like God himself. So God realization means the day we are prepared, the day our vessel is cleaned, the vessel cleaning process is going on. That is why we keep on repeating, right? It's not yet clean. We still have so many problems. Selfishness is there, anger, greed, envy, so many problems that and then we want to enjoy the world. We don't have selflessness, devotion to God. We just want to enjoy more and more of it. With some unfulfilled desires, we depart this world, and God, like an indulgent father, gives us another birth. Okay, you thought this will give you happiness, try it another time, my child. And the child tries it another time and builds some more desires and unfulfilled desires. Then he said, okay, my child, take another birth. And in the process, we are accruing the karmic baggage. Like a perfect karmic baggage, he has to give the justice dispensing system. The karmic system dictates the wound that we get into. So we are in a vicious cycle. But the day we are cleansed and purified, God says, you are like me. There is no difference between you and me at this point. You get the perpetual happiness, everything a soul can crave for, the perfect love, and the job is done. So in that sense, the Father is actually waiting for the third option in the previous slide. And if he would have kept it for himself, then that's not an expression of love. God is Atmaram, Atma Krida, and Atmarati. And if he keeps everything, technically nothing prevents him from doing that. If he does that, then what's the point, right? He wants more of people who can experience the same thing. And that is why this creation, technically speaking, nobody created anybody. Okay, I'm just giving a philosophical answer to this because this question comes up. Let there be peace. Somebody said that I would rather prefer to be in deep sleep. If you don't mind, can you please come over and we can have a good discussion on that? What bliss will we acquire out of it, or how would it help actually if we are in, let's say, in perpetual deep sleep, without even knowing that we are in basically there is no existence. We don't even have an opportunity. We have no existence at all. Yes, Shilpa, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe again, Nitinji sir. So I read the question as the answers were the two answers were sleep, and the second answer was if you could be up and be like God. And I think your lecture kind of answered that. I don't think we could be like God because God is perfect and we have so many flaws. And just to cleanse ourselves, we need Guru. There are lots of bhajans by Kripaluji Maharaj that say, Mujhe das ki dasi bana de. Third level das of a das. So when I listen to that, if Kripaluji Maharaj is saying to him, make him a third level das, someone like me is way down the list of the totem pole to become a das. So even in my most active state, I can't think of becoming like God because first I have to attain a level for Guru to sit, clean that soul, then be able to attain God. And also, I feel that once I am able to attain God, then my soul will just be with God. It's not going to be like God because God is perfect. And that's what the definition of moksha is. The soul just goes there. So if given the two choices, I don't think my identity or my body could be like God. The soul could be, but at that time, the soul then just emerges and mixes with God. So if only two choices are available, then that's that eternal sleep, which is the
Oh, yeah.
body. So
Understood.
that's what I took that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And that's another topic, okay, for another day. But let me give you a quick thing. So God is called Vrihanvat, and I think there are two aspects. One is one who is great, and the second is one who can make others great. So what you're saying, moksha, I will not get too deep into it today. Moksha is the first, what do you call that? It's a spiritual milestone in the sense that you are beyond life and death. Okay.
It seems like the video of Nitinji has, I think there is some internet issue on his side. In the meantime, I can make some announcements, and I think Nitinji will be trying to join again. So the first major announcement is about the Swamiji's upcoming events. So right now he's in Connecticut, and then from June 3rd to June 9th, he will be, now my end. Yeah, from June 3rd to June 9th, he will be in Morrisville, North Carolina, and then June 10th to 15th, Fairfax, and then June 16th to 18th, we will be having the Dallas Yoga Fest with Swamiji. I will post the links again just to so that you can make sure that whenever Swamiji is there in your city, you can attend his live transforming sessions. And apart from that, Swamiji's new book has been launched recently, and you can pre-order it on Amazon India and Amazon US website. And the good thing is the first 5,000 copies will be having a digital signature of Swamiji. So definitely check it out. And the last announcement is about the Dallas Family Camp and Spiritual Retreat, which will happen in Dallas from July 4th to July 10th. And you will have an incredible opportunity to spend 7 days with Swamiji and immerse in the ocean of Bhakti. Is there anything else, Sandhya, you wanted to add?
I guess that's it. And for those who do not know, all the class recordings are up on YouTube. Rahulji probably can share the link of that, as well as we have a community portal on which you can engage in regular discussions about what we are learning in the class. You can also share your learnings and insights, and we all can basically interact over there. So do check that out. And I guess that's it, Rahulji. Feedback.
Feedback tracker, please fill it out also, so that if you have any unanswered questions or suggestions, Nitinji can take a look into that. And one more thing, on the Swami Mukundanji's YouTube channel, there is a new series which has started, and episode 1 was released yesterday about his new book. So I think that is a must watch, and it is related to that art and science of happiness. Okay, I think Nitinji has raised his hand. I'm not sure what.
This is Nitin Sharma, someone else.
Okay, yeah.
There's one more announcement. Amrita Vaniji is asking us to share about SMX and Sunday Satsang. So, Rahulji, you want to go ahead? Nitinji is back. I'll unmute him.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
Sorry about that. My power outage happened here and internet went for a toss. So yeah, we were discussing about becoming one with God, right? So that is a concept of moksha. We will get into it some other day. But yeah, God has an ability to make us like him, God-like. And that is where God realization we are talking about. And in this case, the Father is willing to give us that. Moksha and Premanand, I think it's a topic in itself. I'll not get into that, but any more questions around what we spoke about today? I see Nitin Sharma ji raising his hands on this. But Shilpa ji, let's discuss more on that. I get where you were talking about. And I'm looking forward to your bhajan one of these days. I think you said you will sing one day. You haven't so far. but I'm happy to discuss this topic with you, Moksh and Premanand. Um, Premanand goes much higher than Moksh, okay? And Moksh is a byproduct of Premanand. And Moksh is where you become godlike. In Premanand, and not Moksh, but Premanand is the divine love. When you get, you become godlike at that point. But if you are aspiring for Moksh, then na rahega baans, na bachegi bansuri, like they say, right? You have, instead of relishing the Rasgulla, you have become a Rasgulla yourself. So there's a technicalities around that concept, which we have spoken about in our sessions. I can revisit that. I'm happy to get on a call with you to discuss that as well. Okay, let's take a few more questions. I see Nitinji and Ajitji on this.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Nitinji.
Hello.
Radhe Radhe.
Sir, I want to take a podcast with this JK Yoga, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, have a time for me. I message sir someday before.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. You wanted to do a podcast?
Yes, sir. I'm a YouTuber, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can anybody help me understand?
I think he's saying that some kind of an interview, sort of a podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Nitinji, please fill out the feedback tracker and that probably then we can.
Yeah, please fill out the feedback tracker and then can be in touch. Yeah, we can see if we can arrange a podcast with Swamiji. Or, let's talk about it more. What do you have in mind? So please fill out the feedback tracker and I'll be in touch with you separately on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
No worries. Yes, Ajitji. So Ajitji, I think you had posed this question, right? Why this creation? Did it kind of shed some light on this topic today?
Yeah. Not today, actually, it was a long pending one. But today, my question is related to this topic, that the knowledge, initial knowledge, which sort of thing and how we can impart to our children of age 5 to 8 years. What initial knowledge, just like a stone value, for example, the child doesn't know about the values. So how we can impart this initial knowledge to the child, like
Yeah, so
devotees?
I think this is a question all the parents have. Even we struggle with this part. One of the ways is to live those values ourselves, right? Kids learn more from looking at us more than listening to us. And secondly, looking at opportunities where we can give them some foundational knowledge to begin with. Like in Dallas, we have Balmukund program, a lot of online stuff available. Their minds are impressionable. They pick up these concepts faster than we do. So looking at, but our concepts are clear. And if we are able to imbibe some of these values in our day-to-day lives, that's our best bet. More, and in addition to that, if you can enroll them for programs which are available, I think if you go check it out, Balmukund online is available. There will be other programs as well. There are so many organizations which are investing right now for kids programs, so check it out. But that's our best bet. But best bet is, the biggest one is living those values ourselves and being able to walk the talk basically around with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Himanshu.
Yeah, Radhe, just wanted to add one point for G's question, that self-experience, like if we want to teach our kids about focusing on studies or focusing on something else, we need to first do that in front of them so that they can learn from us. Because if we don't do the practical part, no one can teach them how to focus, for example. And the second part is that we also have to realize that the kid, or like our child, is coming from a past life. So he or she also is carrying a karma. So whatever you do at the end, the child has desires. So we can just have a very good environment around the child, and then we can leave everything on the child, right? We can do our best. We don't have to get attached so much that we again have a lot of desires for our child.
Very true. And they have their own sanskars, right? Like you said, Himanshu, they come with their own sanskars. Sometimes you will find kids, even though they are not getting a very conducive environment, still their spiritual inclination is very high. I see one of my friends, their parents, they are least bothered about spirituality or any of those things. But then their child, he just wants to recite Hanuman Chalisa all the times. They are like, okay, what kind of a saint we have gotten in our house. They think it's a big problem. I say it's a good problem to have. That kid is so inclined toward, he's always looking for Ganesha or reciting. So he had past sanskars, even though his parents are least bothered about it. So yes, those sanskars play a big role. And if we hit a jackpot like that, nothing like it, right? Kid is already sorted out in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's a big. And secondly, Krishna has already said, right, that if we make spirituality a priority in our life, then he will send us to a suitable womb where we can carry on our journey much sooner in life. We will get a conducive environment. But sometimes we do get such kind of souls coming in our family for some reason, maybe. And then you get lucky. But at the same time, we have an opportunity as a parent to mold them. And the only way we can mold them is when we are able to walk the talk and showing them that it is a priority for us. Because they don't listen to us. They look at us for the things that they want to imbibe from us. All right. Are we done then? No, we have 1 more minute to go before we move into our devotional segment. If anybody is interested for that. It was not ideal towards the last 10 minutes, but I'm happy we are able to continue with this discussion. Shilpa ji, I want to have a discussion with you because you brought up a point, very interesting point, where I think we have to do a session again on Moksha, Premanand, Brahmanand aspect of it. I don't want to call that out in a quick discussion because it can be very confusing if we don't do justice to it with a full-blown session around it. Yes, Rahul?
Yeah, there is a question in the chat from Dayasini that can you talk a little bit about relative and absolute truth? Like what is the difference between both of them?
Relative and?
Absolute truth.
Relative and absolute truth, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Relative, maybe there are some examples around it. Absolute truth is truth, basically, right? Absolute truth is that we are the servants of God. That is an absolute truth, if we have to think about it. It is a fact, right? In that sense. Now, relative truth, I don't think there is something called truth or it is not truth, right? Partial truth maybe, but what is relative truth? I don't know. In what context are you asking about that? Maybe that could be another philosophical topic. If you can put in a context, it might be helpful. Something is a truth or not truth, or partial truth. But relative truth doesn't, a lie cannot become a relative truth, right? Lie is a lie, truth is a truth.
Dayasini has raised her hand. If you want, maybe you can. Okay,
we will answer this question, Dayasini, if you sing a bhajan today, okay? Anyways, if you have a question related to the session, I think session officially ends at time, but you are welcome to stay back for the devotional segment where we do a bit of chantings and cry our heart out.
Yeah, so I think if we have any more questions, probably we can.
Yeah, please put it in the feedback tracker, and I'll try to get back to you on that.
So now only devotional.
Manoranjan ji, I'm seeing Manoranjan ji after long. Yes, Manoranjan ji, namaskaram. We have been missing your Kabir Dohas for a while.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, namaskaram to all of you. Nitin ji, actually, I'm sorry that I was not able to hear you properly. Actually, there was a topic about why God created this universe. So, in a nutshell, whether you'll be able to explain to us?
In a nutshell, it's a very deep topic around it. I think if in a nutshell, it will only have more discussion. We did it systematically with polls and everything. But let's say like a loving father, he's giving us an opportunity to become like him so that we can experience the perfect bliss that he has. And he wants seats. If I have power, if I have something, my expression of love would be to share that rather than keep it to myself. And that opportunity he's giving us lifetime after lifetime until we make a resolve and purify ourselves, where he will end up giving us all that he has, like a loving father.
Actually, ये जो क्वेश्चन है, ये राज कपूर साहब का एक अच्छा गाना है, ठीक है? उसमें बोलते हैं
दुनिया बनाने वाले,
बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई, चाहे को दुनिया बनाई तूने, चाहे को दुनिया बनाई। तो उन्होंने क्यों दुनिया बनाया है वही जाने, हम लोग तो जान ही नहीं पाएंगे, जानने की केवल कोशिश कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद. I think Kabir ji will be feeling jealous today. Okay, you picked up Raj Kapoor instead. But yeah, very relevant song. We can only philosophize. Very true. Okay. Yes. Anybody else? I think we have a few more minutes. I have an appointment, so I have a hard stop in another 15-20 minutes. Let's wrap up if anybody.
Yeah, I think now only devotional segment. So let's start with Sandhya ji.
Yes.
Yes, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Sandhya.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So I'll attempt to sing this bhajan. I really like it. लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे सिर उथे लिख दे हाथ गुरां दा सिर उथे लिख दे हाथ गुरां दा सिर उथे लिख दे हाथ गुरां दा अखां विच गुरा का दीदार लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा का प्यार लिख दे लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा का प्यार लिख दे हत्थां उत्थे लिख दे सेवा गुरां दी हत्थां उत्थे लिख दे सेवा गुरां दी दिल विच दिलदार लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे पैरां उत्ते लिख दे सत्संग जाना पैरां उत्ते लिख दे सत्संग जाना हो मेरा तन मन गुरा तो वार लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे एक ना लिखी मेरे गुरा दा विछोड़ा एक ना लिखी मेरे गुरा दा विछोड़ा और चाहे दुखा दा पहाड़ लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे लिखन वालिया तू हो के दयाल लिख दे मेरे दिल विच गुरा दा प्यार लिख दे Thank you.
Beautiful, Sandhya. Very nice. Very devotionally and bhavpuni sung, and it's a very beautiful bhajan. See, this again reiterates the discussion that we were having, right? Gurus are who? Gurus are the ones who are God realized, and there is no difference between them and God at that point, because God has given them all their powers. They have become God realized at that point. And this bhajan beautifully encapsulates the fact that even if you do Guru Bhakti, you can still realize God through His grace. So Gurus and God, there is no difference whatsoever. And you can do Bhakti of Guru and God in parallel. Right? God with Guru, Guru with God, God in Guru's heart, Guru in God's heart, and pretty much everything together. Beautiful bhajan. Thank you so much, Sandhya, for bringing it to our session. Loved it. All right. Who else? Today I see Laddu has been brave enough to. Yes, Seema, go ahead. And we have Jayashini and Surender ji. Hopefully your audio is fixed today, so we'd love to hear from you as well. But go ahead, Seema.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaiya. Radhe Radhe, everyone. Radhe Radhe, Bhaiya.
Radhe Radhe.
So, Bhaiya, this song is very long, so I won't be able to sing it the entire song. So,
Yeah, you can.
I'll just sing the first paragraph. And after listening to this song, I fell in love with Mahadev one more time. So, I'll just start. Okay. हम कैलाशी उस शिव शंभू की कथा सुनाते हैं, पावन कथा सुनाते हैं, बांट के अमृत औरों को खुद विष पी जाते हैं, हम कथा सुनाते हैं। दैत्यों और देवों में एक दिन युद्ध हुआ बड़ा भारी, दैत्यों के हाथों में मिली थी देवों को हार करारी, इंद्रदेव का भी छीना है फिर तो सिंहासन, लेकर स्वर्ग का राज वो दानव हुए हैं बड़े प्रसन्न, सभी देवता ब्रह्मा जी की शरण में फिर तो आए, बोले दानव कैसे वापस राज लौटा के आए, ब्रह्मा जी उन्हें विष्णु शरण में लेकर जाते हैं, विष्णु जी फिर सब देवों को ये बतलाते हैं, करके सागर मंथन हम अमृत को पाते हैं, पावन कथा सुनाते हैं, बांट के अमृत औरों को खुद विष पी जाते हैं, हम कथा सुनाते हैं, हम कैलाशी उस शिव शंभू की कथा सुनाते हैं, पावन कथा सुनाते हैं, बांट के अमृत औरों को खुद विष पी जाते हैं, हम कथा सुनाते हैं।
Very nice, Laddu. You made one of the strongest comeback in the devotional segments. All I can tell you is Mother Parvati has some serious competition now. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Bhaiya.
Very nice. Loved it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya. You made my day. Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, everyone.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you very much. Surender ji, and then we'll get to the Ashini ji. Yes, Surender ji, you want. Yesterday we could not hear you, so.
Radhe Radhe. I wanted to
Radhe Radhe.
try and answer Raj Kapoor.
Okay, Hanjit ji, boliye. Raj Kapoor is becoming famous today.
The quick answer is that God, wherever Vaikuntha, etc., he was feeling lonely.
Yeah, lonely.
He had a chopper with him, packed up like that. So, getting bored, he opened the door. You know, the gotia and the chopper, they are in the middle of it. As he threw it, the gotia spelt all over the world. And we are those gotis. Now he's enjoying sitting up. We are fighting with each other. That is his enjoyment.
Yeah, he's having fun at our expense, right? Yes, that's an interesting analogy. Thank you, Surendra ji, for bringing that out. Nice. I think we all have one philosopher's hat to, this is a big question. Why did God create it, right? Pretty interesting one too. Okay, so Himanshu, you want to sing as well?
No, sorry for this. I just wanted to say that I have put a brief summary with some points. Please read it if you like it. Thank you about today's talk. Thank you.
You might
Sure,
want
if you
to
can
post
put it on the, if you can put it, Himanshu, on the CIC group where we share the summaries, that will be nice actually for everybody's benefit. CIC group, right? We have a CIC interactive group. That's where you can post it.
Okay.
That will be nice. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Dyashini, all yours.
And community portal also, because that will also have
community portal also if you want to, because that's a good way to engage discussion on that particular topic. We have community portal and CIC interactive. So we look forward to that, Himanshu. Thank you for that.
We have only
yes,
3 minutes.
Dyashini.
Nitinji will be 8:15. Yeah, so we have 3 minutes.
Yeah, we I can do some maybe 10,
Okay.
15 more minutes. I think
Radhe
Dyashini.
Radhe Radhe. Again, bhajan by Sri Kripaluji Maharaj. Dhani Dhani Prem Dhani Dhani Nanda Nandana. Dhani Dhani Prem Dhani Dhani Nanda Nandana. Karu Bandana Prema Ru Nanda Nandana. होर जब होया प्रेम रोन
We lost her voice, right?
नंदन राधे राधे
Yeah.
Okay,
now-
go ahead. I think
राधे
we,
राधे
is it my end or are you losing the voice as well?
No, I think now we are okay. Yeah, I think she got muted for some time.
Okay, go ahead, Dashmi.
श्रुति कहाँ भूख प्यास नहीं नंद नंदन प्रेम ने बनाया भूखा प्यासा नंद नंदन जको नाम जपी जन कोटि भव बंदन सोई उखल बंधा मांगे मुक्ति गोपी जना. So I just want to focus on this particular line which like strikes me most in my mind, that श्रुति कहा भूख प्यास नहीं नंद नंदना प्रेम ने बनाया भूखा प्यासा नंद नंदना. Actually, he is not bound to have hunger because he is not hungry. He doesn't have a stomach or something like that, but he is hungry because of the love for the devotees. So that is the thing. This particular line, just I wanted to share.
Beautiful,
Thank you.
Dashmi. Thank you so much. Beautiful. We'll talk about this concept as well. Why is hungry for that? Okay. Why does God need that? We'll talk about that as well. But thank you so much, Manoranjan ji. Real quick, was anything from your side as well? Or your previous hand raised,
Just
I guess.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes,
Am
you're
I
audible.
audible? Yeah, just
Yes.
actually, since all of you are missing Kabir Doha, so let me share one Kabir Doha with you all. So, Sant Kabir is saying that Das kahavan kathin hai, मैं दासन का दास, अब तो ऐसा हो ही चले कि पांव तले की घास कबीरा, पांव तले की घास. Sant Kabir is so immersed in devotion. He is saying, "Oh Lord, I am the servant of your servant, but that is not enough. Now I feel that I am the grass under your feet." So we are all grass under his feet. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoranjan ji. Thank you so much for that. And you did the nice balancing act with Kabir ji as well, right? Previously, he was feeling left out today because you just remembered Raj Kapoor. So thank you so much for that. We were missing that Kabir Doha. Shalini ji, you want to say something as well? Radhe Radhe, Shalini. Thank you so much, Manoranjan ji.
Radhe Radhe. So I was just thinking about a bhajan of Lord Shiva. I'm from Himachal and from Chamba area. So वहाँ पे एक Lord
My
Shiva को
grandfather is from Chamba region, Chuwadi region. I might be visiting there. Yeah.
Oh wow! Actually, my
We
mummy is from
belong.
Kangra, but my sister
We
is
live in
married
Kangra
in
district,
Chamba.
Palampur right now.
Oh my
that's good to
God!
know.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
from Shahpur area. My nani ka ghar वहाँ पे था. But
I'm a
anyway,
little
so
further in Shahpur, so that's
okay,
good to know.
I know
World is a
Palampur.
small
Yeah.
place.
Yes. So चंबा में शिव जी को धूड़ू भी कहते हैं. I mean, it's a very local dialect. तो उनका एक गाना भजन मुझे ऐसी it's a kind of a folk song. So I'll just sing like one line of that.
Sure.
So it goes like this. धूड़ू नचया नच देने वालू हो, धूड़ू नचया जटाएं खलारी हो, धूड़ू नचया जटाएं खलारी हो, धूड़ू नचया नच देने वालू हो. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you,
Nitin ji,
Shalini
thank
ji.
you very much. I just started, I'm in Dallas. I started listening or participating in this yoga Bhagavad Gita classes. I'm really indebted to you for such wonderful sessions, and I'll probably come to the temple more often. Thank you so
Please do. I would love to meet you, and thank you for bringing this Pahadi song. I'm hearing a Pahadi song after a long time. Okay.
My mommy knows a lot of Kangala songs. I'll probably do that.
We'll talk
sometime.
more. Let's catch up on
Yes,
temple. I'll be
definitely.
back
Yes.
on end of
Absolutely,
June.
sure.
And if you can come to family camp, even better. You can meet
Yes.
Swamiji as well.
Yes, I will try. Yes, sure. Radhe Radhe. Yes.
Wonderful. So thank you everybody for a wonderful session. Have a great rest of your evening and your weekend. We'll meet on Sunday evening, US time, Monday morning, India time, with another topic. I think we are going to talk about bhavs now. Devotion we brought into Sakha bhav is what Arjun is having with Lord. But does it have to be limited to Sakha alone? We'll talk about that next week. Okay. So thank you again, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening and rest of your weekend as well. Thank you very much. Radhe Radhe. Good night. Good day.